for all of those that put their makeup on. That's good.
Exactly. This is your time to shine.
I should have put mine on.
Exactly. So gang, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spotlight myself and Tommy. Let's get you spotlighted as well. Everyone just give us a thumbs up if you can see us nice and big here for us. Perfect. Cool. Thanks so much all of you for coming. It's always hard to kind of do something online when you don't know exactly how many people are going to come, because I think about 100 tickets, or 104 now, actually, I just refreshed, have gone. But again, there's only about 45 of you here. Feel free, if you can, put your cameras on. I'm assuming most of you are performers or actors, probably used to being on film. We're not judging, but please do switch your cameras on. It's always much nicer for us to kind of see you. But we understand if you are in Georgia, someone just said they're currently in bed, don't worry about putting your camera on. So hello everybody, big welcome from me. My name is Ricky, and this young man here as well is called Tommy. We run Ambitious Arts. For those of you, I see a few names, people that, and a few students of ours as well in here already. For those of you who don't know us, Ambitious Arts, we basically coach actors in business, not in acting, but in business and in life, you could say. We keep you motivated, and we basically show you how to use your skills, to empower yourself and to earn money. We've recently just launched one of our books, Pain in the Arts, How to Make Money as a Performer, which thanks to all of you guys went straight to the #1 Amazon spot on several of the categories. So thanks for supporting. And we are a big partnership with Hackney Empire. Rachel couldn't be with us today here. She's got another event as well online at the same time. But the Hackney Empire, if you can mute yourselves, gang, that might help as well, just so it doesn't, lots of feedback. But yeah, Hackney Empire are great partners with us. I'm sure most of you know Hackney Empire. We run normally monthly sessions there called the Performance Network. And we get in casting directors, we get in celebrities, we get script writers, we get marketers. We try and get as many different types of industry leaders for everybody to kind of get to know, question and answers, all that kind of thing. But obviously since COVID happened, we kind of stopped doing that, and we thought we'd bring them back to you online. So today, Tommy and I are going to take you through a few things. This whole session is just to keep you kind of feeling motivated, checking in, and to kind of help you bounce back stronger than ever. So Tommy, I'm going to pass it over to you, and we're also going to open the floor in a little bit as well and answer any questions that some of you might have.
Yeah, just a raise of hands. Who's feeling motivated right now? More than I thought would be.
Yes, sir.
Who's had a really tough January? Or is it just me? The thing is it's really tough right now, isn't it? And we're in an industry where, we're in the hands of other people the whole time. We're waiting for the agent, we're waiting for the casting director, we're waiting. So today is really about empowering yourself. What can you be doing now to further your career? But not only that, it's what you can do to support yourself financially. Because if you're not making money, you end up leaving the industry. So me and Ricky run a company called Captain Fantastic. We do kids pies together. But we had to set that up to go off and do other things because we didn't have that foundation. We were just stressing. We were living in Turnpike Lane. It was good fun, but we
just graduated from East 15 acting school. 2009, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, we want to talk about the other stuff as well, what you can be doing now to move forward. So just feel free to hands up, unmute yourself. What are people doing right now, acting wise, or just throwing events, putting on shows, writing? What are people doing right now?
Writing comedy and poetry.
Awesome. Liz, what are you up to?
Me, I'm doing Romeo and Juliet, playing the nurse.
Very good.
Yeah, we're doing that Valentine's Day, 7 o'clock on Valentine's Day, online. I think it's going to be live streamed on YouTube. We're doing it via Zoom.
Yeah.
Great fun.
Wicked.
Brilliant. What about business? Has anyone set up events or done anything to make money from their skills as an actor?
I'm not really getting the money as an actor, but I'm actually trying to get money from doing editing jobs on Fiverr. So I try to expand my abilities, not just to act, because as you know, it's an art form. And because in the industry, you're going to have like acting, you do photography, you do drawing and doing storyboards. So I try to expand on my knowledge on different aspects to it. So when it comes to like trying to do more work in the industry. I try to like lend it onto editing. So I try to value that in every way I can. So I know that at the moment with the lockdown, it's limiting our abilities to socialize, networking in person, as well as like acting in person. So I am writing a short film at the moment, working with my best friend at the moment. And at the moment, it's just taken time for it to like mold together, if that makes sense. So nothing much professional levels are at the moment. It's just keeping the value going, you know?
Yeah, of course. And that's what we have to do. So what I want to do is I want to look at where do we want to be? That's what we want to focus on, is where we want to be. And let's be realistic, because we can't, you know, necessarily acting wise, we can't say, oh, I want to be in a movie by the end of the year. But what I just want to do is take a bit of time to just write down, where do you actually want to be next year? Let's say, realistically, we're still going to be in lockdown, aren't we? For, you know, until the summer, end of April, I don't know. So physical work isn't going to happen. We'll probably have a good summer, and then there might be another lockdown in the winter. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll see the past of it. But at the end of that, we should see the end of COVID. So what can we be doing right now? And what I want you to do is just to write down where you're at now and where you want to be.
We're going to talk about goals, having time-specific goals. So Tommy and I, we are very, very specific in literally what it is that we want from our lives, from our relationships, from our businesses, from everything. Can I kind of explain a little bit exactly like how we do this, how we set a target, and how we can like reverse engineer the future and plan towards it? Because I think a lot of people, they kind of say, oh, I want to just do this, or I want to be this, but they don't know how to work backwards from it. So, you know, you can't get anywhere if you don't know where you're going. So just take a minute, as Tommy just said, write down kind of where it is you kind of are now, and where do you think you would like to be in 12 months' time?
And I think a good analogy is everyone's stopped now. You know, because of COVID, we've stopped, we've slowed down. And think of like a marathon. In a marathon, we all start off, we all think we're going to do 26 miles. And, you know, at one point we hit a wall, and at that wall, some people stop, they sit down, and they've had enough. But if you just carry on walking, if you're doing a little bit right now, you're going to finish that marathon. You're going to be miles ahead once this is over. Because if you stop, it's all gone. But if we're going to do those little bits of walking each day, we'll finish that marathon. We'll be further than everyone else. And it's all about moving forward right now. You don't have to change the world, but if you're moving forward, you're going to progress. If you stand still, now it's going to happen.
I agree 100%. That's perfect information you're putting out there. I like that.
Oh, no worries. It's just, I think right now, I think people are frozen and they are worried. And what we want you to do is, after this, is go away with something to either work on, or if you're working on something, ideas to take that to the next level. That's what we're working on today. We're not going to say you're going to be famous tomorrow. We're just saying these are the little stepping stones that you can put into place to keep moving forwards. Because if you stand still, nothing happens. Moss grows.
And I also think that a lot of people, the reason for doing these, and the thing that I love about the Hackney team as well, is that they always want to help people, keep influencing people. And I think actors, you know, you can be, although there's so many people in such an overcrowded industry, everyone thinks they're alone. So just to know that people are also struggling, you know, one person, you want to hang around with those people that, you know, are motivated at the moment, are doing things, because, you know, you can get influenced by them. So we want to kind of get everybody a bit together and just get you all on the same page and give you a bit of motivation.
So this is from Tracy. I have a lot of connections, producers and people of influence, but I need representation. I've been taking a lot of acting classes lately. My talent is different, so having an agent will help me get paid for my gift. So what we're going to do, so how do you find an agent right now? You know, there's no showcases. Even the drama schools aren't having showcases right now. They're doing them all virtually. And you can say more agents will see them, but, you know, is it the same? Is it physical? Are you going to have that conversation, that cup of tea after, or coffee, whatever you prefer? You know, it's going to be very hard. And also, is there any work right now? They're recommissioning stuff that they had before. So a lot of people are just going back into the old job and they're not doing anything new. So it's going to be quite tough. So how do we look at representation? How do we move ourselves forward? Great idea, like Christian said earlier, is to write your own thing. So if you wanted to produce something, write it, how easy is it to do a short film on Zoom? We're so used to seeing Zoom now that it'd be so easy to put something on Zoom that you've got, and you can see yourself acting, you've written, you put it together, you directed. These things are all great skills that an agent would want to see. So that's something I would say you should work on, Tracy, is to develop something that you can give an agent, you can show value. Okay, does anyone want to share where they're at and where they want to be before we move on?
Okay, I want to share. I have created a live online quiz show, and it's called Game of 12s.
Perfect.
We got premiere in December, and we had a different team. It was premiered on an online festival, and then this year, January, it's a new series. So it's happening on Zoom, and I've got the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube channel. It's called Game of 12s. Every 12th of the month, we have a live quiz from 8 o'clock UK time, and it's happening 25 minutes, so it's not very long, but throughout the month, there's a lot of games happening on the social media. So I do want to increase my followers, and I do want, we got every month, there is a live quiz show, and there is a winner of the month. And then at the end of December, Christmas 2021, there will be a final. So all the winners will be competing against each other. So we've got prizes, and we've got, so I want to take that a bit.
Are you charging to do that?
No, it's free. It's free. The Zoom ID goes on and the social media. So people log on and can participate. And the winner will give a digital prize for the time being. It's free, and it's on a donation basis. So,
Melanie, I love it. But you're going to put so much time into it. Why are you not charging?
I wanted to do it. The reason I started it is because it was coming through Christmas, and I know with lockdown, everybody, usually we have some place to go and, celebrate and get entertained. People go to quiz on pubs and community hall, but it wasn't happening. So I thought of bringing that online.
Yeah, I love that, Melanie. I love it. And I love how you're giving that out for free. But you got to, and so many actors do this. You don't value your time.
Yeah,
you've trained for 3 years. Well, me and Ricky did, but I'm sure most of you are trained actors, or you've been working in your craft for a long time. You spent a lot of time to hone your skills, to train as a performer, and then you're going out and doing free stuff. So show reels, voice reels, do them for free until you've got a nice show reel. If you're not doing anything else, but if you've got that, why would you do anything for free? You're valuable. Your worth should be £50 an hour. It doesn't, or £20 an hour, whatever. It doesn't need to be free. So I want you to think, Melanie, that actually I need to be charging for my time because I need to eat. So change your mind shift. Can you just put on the product pathway?
Yeah, Tommy, I was literally just about to say, because we weren't going to show this, but I've literally got it on the background here. I love it how our minds work. So I'm reading down all through the comments. People here are talking about, we've got a YouTube channel, want to grow followers. I'm going to be offering mental health and mindful coaching sessions for creative artists. Target is to get more followers. I'm opening my acting book. I'm short of men at the moment. You want to get more things. You want to be seen by different people. Everybody wants something, but I feel that a lot of people. This is our grind with like drama schools, and the reason that Tommy and I, we go to several drama schools now, and they pay us to go in and teach business skills to actors, because the biggest problem with drama schools is that when you come out of drama school, you're an amazing actor, but it doesn't matter how good of an actor you are if nobody ever hears about you or you can't get yourself out there. It doesn't matter if you've got the best product in the world if you don't know how to sell it. So what we do is, it's like anybody who's going to acting, you would need to get acting skills. As an actor, you are a self-employed, performer, which means you are a business. So you need business skills. And I always feel that people, they give up at the first hurdle. I sent a few emails, I phoned a few people, I made my Twitter handle and stuff, I put a few posts up, but I didn't get any bookings, so I just left it. I made my business card. I love the amount of people that make their websites, spend ages on a logo, but they never get a client, or they push their friends. So,
with Captain Fantastic, the company that me and Ricky own, we have franchises and they own an area. And one of our franchises, he's fairly new. He says, it's not working. We're like, well, what have you done? And he goes, I made 200 calls. And I said, well, that's good. 200 calls is good. But in one day, you should make 50. If you're going to be a salesperson, you make 50 to 70 calls.
50 to 70 calls, yeah.
But I said, you've worked for 4 days a week and you've done 4 days over, say, 3 months, and you're expecting an income of working full time. You have to set it up. You have to put the foundations in. You have to be willing to work, because what you put in is what you get out. Anyway,
I'm gonna one sec, Tom. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm just gonna explain to you Tommy and I's little story. Hopefully, it might motivate some of you as well. Just about what we did with our children's entertainment company, Captain Fantastic, at the beginning of the first lockdown, and then I'm gonna put up on the screen how we transform big businesses, small businesses, people's first time, how you can actually get clients, how you can find new people, how you can really grow everything. So
and if you'll come here thinking, oh, why is this all business? Why is this all production? This applies to you selling yourself as an artist. Okay, you have to demonstrate value for people to want you. You can't just turn up and be saying, hey, I'm here. Has anyone watched The Room? The really badly acted film. Just me. Anyway, it's this guy. He writes his own film, and it's awful. But he literally just keeps going up to directors and starts performing these monologues really bad to them. You have to demonstrate value before you can. Let them come to you because you've demonstrated value. Don't go to them and be cringy. Bad example.
So guys, Tommy and I, we have about 40 actors on our books at Captain Fantastic. We basically just do kids parties, so loads of kids parties. And then obviously COVID-19 hit back in March last year. And we went from doing around 200 physical parties a month between all the actors on our books to doing absolutely zero. We had to give back all the money in deposits that we'd taken. We didn't know what was going to happen. We had about 7 full-time staff at that point, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But we thought, look, if this is going to get worse and worse, we need to put everything kind of online and start doing like online kids parties. And obviously you might now be thinking, oh, everybody does that. But Tommy and I, we actually launched online kids parties before even the first lockdown came into plan. So it was probably 3 days after COVID was a thing. I remember it being like the 22nd of March or something like that, or 20th of March. And because we launched it straight away, we got all over Sky News. We were interviewed. We were on BBC London. We were in the papers, the Telegraph, the entrepreneur.com did a big feature on us. The Stage did a feature. We kind of blew up because we were the first people to jump on doing it. And then lots of other people obviously started doing it as well, which is great as well for them. But what a lot of people did incorrectly is Tommy and I was like, okay, how do we make money? We need to be doing online kids parties. So how can we get the word out for doing online kids parties if people don't know who we are? So we started doing free live shows every day. And our first free live show, you might all, know everything now about Zoom and Facebook Lives and stuff, but no one had ever done anything really online before the lockdown. So I remember we posted we were going to be going online, and we did our first one, and we didn't know how the camera was working. We didn't know proper about sound. We had 19,000 people watch our first live toddler session. We did a toddler session, and we were looking at the numbers, and it was like there was like 46 people. As soon as we clicked live, it was 46. I was like, bro, there's 100 people. There's 1.4, 3.2. We literally just under 20,000 people we hit on our first live show. And on that live show, all we spoke about, I mean, we did a lot of like wind the bobbin up and all hokey cokies, but what we did was we spoke about our parties, our paid online parties. So we gave them something for free. And we gave them, we told them about our online parties. And then from that, we did that every day, and we were having over 10,000 people watch our stuff. We actually reached 3.4 million people in the first month of lockdown. And we had millions of minutes watched on YouTube, which was amazing. And literally from that, we ended up doing about 400 or 500 kids parties a month since. Everything died down.
How did we do it, Rick? Let's get to that.
So
we want to show off.
No, but it's important to understand like how and why we did it. So guys, I'm just about to share my screen for you all. I didn't think we'd actually go into so much detail today, but let me grab this up for you.
What we're going to do, we're going to go through this. We're going to show you, this is more for the people that are saying, how do I get a following? How do I get people to see me? This is what this is about. And then we're going to go back to what we was going to do originally. And it's just about how are we going to invent that show, that product, that thing. And that's what we'll end up on.
And again, you have to understand that this is everything to do with your acting jobs. This is everything to do with building your profile in what is a very overcrowded industry. Can everyone just give me a thumbs up, because I can only see my screen. Can everybody see?
It's good.
Can you see the screen? Okay, perfect. Can you see my mouse at all? Can you see my mouse move?
Yeah.
Perfect. So gang, this is our product pathway. Tommy, I'll let you go into it. I just want to explain a little bit. You have to think of this like a marriage, okay? If you think this is basically every angle that you're going to take people on a journey. This is how you can get leads, how you can contact and find and make money. Now, if you think of a relationship, say the end goal of a relationship is to get married, okay, gang? So it's this fulfill up here. Now, you would not go up to anyone on the street and just say, hey, would you marry me? Because they probably think you're crazy, okay? Now, before you get married, what do you have to do? You have to get engaged. Before you get engaged to someone, you know, you probably might have had to have moved in with them. Before you moved in with them, you might have want to go on holiday with them. Before you go on holiday with them, you probably wanted to have, you know, at least, you know, gone on a few dates with them. Before you gone on a few dates with them, you probably wanted to get their number. Before getting their number, you probably wanted to have a chat with them. Again, obviously you've got Tinder and different things, so you can skip some of those things there. But generally, this is what we do with our businesses, our relationships, our lives. We say, okay, this is the goal. I want marriage. What comes before marriage? Okay, to get to that stage, I need to get to this stage. To get to this stage, I need to get to this one. So again, this is how you need to think of running your acting careers, your business lives and your lives. So Tommy, I'll let you kind of take this on.
Yeah, and a good thing, like Christian was saying, he was going to do a short film. Why are you doing a short film? What's the end goal? Why? Because if you was to say, because if it's just to get you know, agents interested, that's great. But why don't you do more out of it? You could be running workshops off the back of it if it had a very poignant message. Anyway, so attract, how do you demonstrate value without anyone committing? So no one wants to pay for anything anymore unless they like you. The second, like Kanye West released some shoes, he can sell them for £300-400 because he's well known. If you try and release a pair of shoes, you can't give them away. That's just the value. So at first you have to make value with no commitment. And stuff like podcasts, blogs and videos, just like videos of you doing what you do really well, obviously demonstrate values. Blogs, talking as an expert on your subject. So we think all actors should have a side hustle that makes them different to other actors. I'm the actor that sings. I'm the actor that can tap dance. I'm the actor that runs a business. I'm an actor that does science shows on YouTube. I'm the actor that has something else. Because all of a sudden, if you're doing, and if you go to drama school, they'll say you're diluting yourself. Whereas I would say at least you're putting yourself out there and adding value. So it's just what she said. Yeah, so it's all about demonstrating value. So the best thing that you can do, right, is to do a podcast. And the reason why, any subject that obviously that you're passionate about, that you love, you should do a podcast about. But don't do it just you sitting down on a mic. Invite the people that are the expert in that industry. So if you're going to do a podcast on sewing, go get the sewing BP, bring them up, I don't know, aim high and then keep working down and get them on your podcast to talk about sewing. Because all of a sudden, if you're next to someone that's in the industry and that's well-known, trusted, and you're there interviewing them, all of a sudden you're in the industry, you're well-known, you're trusted. It's just their following, their influence, all of a sudden seeps into you. And me and Ricky have an Ambitious Arts podcast. And literally, it got us into the door of Hackney Empire because we were talking to agents, Emmerdale actors, skins actors, casting directors, singing coach, the Rocket Man singing coach, etc., etc. By being next to those people, it demonstrates value. We can go through all of these, but then what's next is how do you get their email? How do you get their contact details? Obviously, if it's an agent or something, it's more like you're sending your show reel and capturing their email. But if it's to do an event, say, or it's your game of 12s, you know, you want to do something for free to demonstrate value, but then you want to give them something like a quiz or a competition. You know, if you send me your email, you can get 10 free tickets for your friends or 1 free ticket. I don't know, whatever. and then it goes on. So then there'd be the event itself. So if you're doing your short film, this would be your short film. But the short film doesn't really make money. So where's the main product? Where's the money? So that could be workshops in schools. That could
and
be...
this, I was just going to say, and this is the part where people kind of finish or get stuck. A lot of actors as well, they'll just throw an event. They might post about it. They might shout about it. They might do a little bit of promo video. They might make some nice graphics. They're all great things. And then they do the event and then that's it. They haven't got certain emails. They don't know how to get more money from it. They don't know how to invite those people back. Like you have to keep on going. There's no point trying to find hundreds and hundreds of new customers all the time when you've already got people that might already like you and know you. I did just see, Tommy, can you keep an eye on the chat? I saw that someone called Jay raised their hand. I'm only sharing my screen, so I can't really see.
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking either. I'm just lofting away. Any questions? You can do a raise of hand thing and the reactions.
Still want to keep, I want to keep going through this though as well, Tommy, just if this is helpful.
Yeah.
No, that was an accident. Sorry.
Hit me. Was there a question?
Yeah, no, I said that was an accident. Sorry, mate. Carry on.
Oh, no worries. It was an accident.
I mean,
Tracy, you got a question?
I do. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, what do you do when you have like media exposure? So I've done interviews for radio. I've been in magazines. I've been in articles on the internet. I have a lot of exposure, but the issue is them wanting to pay me. So that's my problem.
Well, the thing, why are you doing the interviews? Why? It is to show off, isn't it? So therefore, you have to tell people about it. Me and Ricky, we do like a lot of stuff for celebrity clients. And we didn't really tell anyone about it. We were just like, they're good little earners, they ring up and, blah, blah. But when we started telling people, we've done parties for Hugh Grant, we've done for the Al Fayeds, we've done it for football managers, footballers, all of a sudden, you're the party entertainer to the stars. But if you're in these magazines, you need to be putting them out, writing blogs about them, put them out, let people know. But it's also, the thing is with acting, it's not, the ball isn't always in your court. So what can you do where the ball is in your court? And that's why we think you should always do something else that you have control over for your mental sanity, to be honest.
And it always strike while the iron is hot. With again, like that Captain Fantastic analogy, when we were getting on Sky News, when we were on here, we would use that to go somewhere else. We would be like, BBC London, we just were on entrepreneur.com. Would you like to feature us? I just had a big, last month I was in the Stage. They did a big article on me for my book. The only reason that I managed to get that is because I was on the news beforehand. Yeah. And again, everything kind of goes on to the next one. But then you've got to realize, like, why are you doing the interview? The reason I wanted to do it is because I wanted to push the book, and I managed to push the book. So then it became a #1 Amazon bestseller. So you kind of, again, that was I wanted to write the book. I want to become Amazon #1 seller. How do I do that? And etc. So gang, if you have something that is working well for you, keep pushing that. And
also what you are as an actor is you're the admin, you're the HR. I know it's in your own little department, but you're the sales, you're the PR, you're the videographer now. You're a company within one. So you have to really think, okay, I've done this, what's the next thing? You have to have that PR brain. What stunt can I do to take me to the next thing? Like me and Ricky did a 24-hour live party just to get on the news, just to help sell our stuff. But what PR stunt could you do as an individual? And don't think, I need to do something crazy, but what can I do as an individual that puts me out there? Where were we? So yeah, and then like the next things are like, if you were doing these sewing podcasts, then you'd run a course or you'd run a subscription where they sign up weekly. I know a lot of people are doing like the fitness weekly and all that stuff. So if you were a PT, you get people to sign up to a monthly or a quarterly contract. And then fulfill all these things are do it for you, do it with you. There's all commitment. All the commitment changes. And as we go up, fulfill is it's done for you. So for us, our fulfill is like a franchise. We give a business to one of our entertainers or someone that wants to be a children's entertainer. We give them a business and it's already done for them. And if they run it correctly, they make 50 grand a year. So they're very happy to like take that on. But it's all done for them. So if if you were a PT, the one-on-one would be your PT session, your 1 hour session. Your fulfill would be your liposuction. It's done for you. It's sucked out. You're going to go in and you're going to come out and it's done. I'm going to be skinny. I'm going to be beautiful.
So like, does anybody here, like, so I have, so we do a lot of coaching with different clients, and a lot of, for some reason, I have a lot of like yoga and Pilates instructors that are actors that teach yoga and Pilates, and they always say, oh, you know, I can never get more than, you know, 7 or 8 people in my classes, and now online is so saturated, and that I'm trying to push it, but everyone's doing it for free. What do I do? And again, you just have to build your exposure and your following, and it is doing all these things.
Yeah.
So for example, if you're selling a £5 Pilates class online, that would be probably, you know, down here at Captivate, it's kind of a one-off event. So, you know, to get to even that stage, what have you got to do? You know, you could do a free session to begin with. You could have a podcast speaking to someone, you know, to do with your spine. You could have a fitness expert. You could talk about running. You could have different things all around that stuff. You could release a few short videos of yourself on Instagram, on Facebook, and then, you know, sign up to a free session or win a month for free competition or quiz, stuff like that. And then, you know, eventually you can get some people into your kind of £5 class. But then that's not really where the big money is. You know, you don't want to earn just 25, 30 pounds, you know, for you know, a class, if you can, you know, get people paying hundreds. So what's next from that? Those people that like it, could you probably host some sort of weekender or retreat? Again, nobody's going to come on your retreat and pay 300 or 400 quid if they've never done a class with you. So how do you get people on that retreat? You need to have them doing your classes. Once they've done a class, can you sign them up? You know, if it's a one-off, can you sign them up for a block of 10 classes? Once someone has done 10 classes with you and they like you, they're more susceptible to come to your, you know, to your weekenders, to your days. Then could you do maybe some dinners? Could you do some evenings? Could you have a nutritionist come and speak to people? Could you start hosting different things and stuff like that? So you just kind of have to work your way up and think slightly outside of the box and horizontal and to the left and down. Like you got to think about everything. Captain Fantastic, I keep using the example because this is what we do. We sell kids parties. That's our main product. But we have free live shows. We have blogs. We have loads of funny sketches and videos. We have how-to guides, like download this to know how to throw the best Zoom party. You know, win a free kids party. We have lots of people sign up to competitions. We have kids books. We have kids dolls. We have birthday cake. You know, everyone that has a birthday. This is clever. Everybody that has a birthday, they normally have a birthday cake. They have party bags. They normally have a venue. Okay, so we don't have all those things yet. We partner up with birthday cake suppliers, with venues, with party bag suppliers, and we say to them, okay, if we pass clients to you, can we get a commission? Yes, you can. Oh, venues, if we push your venue, will you push our parties for your clients? Oh, yes, we will. Now I want to think, oh, actually, I want the most paying clients. Okay, so I'm not going to go to a small community church hall and ask them to push my parties for them. Instead, I'm going to do, and this is what we do at Captain Fantastic, I approach all the expensive Mayfair and Chelsea private members clubs, and I approach them and say, I will do free shows for you in the Christmas and the summer, if you can promote our parties to your people. And even when I go and do a free show there, all their clients are seeing me. And then what can I do at my show? I can then hand them out leaflets. I can get them to, you know, sign up to something. And you'll see that once that kind of something changes in your mind there, oh, wow. Then we went from selling, you know, £200 kids parties to some kids parties that are several thousand, because we hit the clients that we wanted. So again, I mean, that I don't want to go too much into detail everything, but that just when you get into a bit of niching, like, you know, who is your ideal client?
And who can you partner with? Mikasha, I've got a question. Oh, I'll unmute, buddy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm contacting you all the way from Vancouver.
Nice.
Why is it that you think, well, I think that film schools, acting schools, drama schools do not teach the business side of things, which I think a lot of actors really need to understand. Could you answer that, please?
So, oh.
Do you want to do it, Rick?
Well, I mean, we speak to, that's great thing for us because that's what we saw was missing. But like, what is it? Jamie Oliver, if you are a chef and you go to a chef school, in a chef school, they actually train you how to run your own restaurant and business. Because as a chef, the majority of chefs want to go and run their own run their own restaurants. So they need that work. An acting school, I mean, you could argue that an acting school, if they were to teach business, people just might not kind of get it. They just don't drill it into students because they just want to teach that one thing. Because I suppose teaching acting is their niche. Like when you go to on a film school or you get an acting coach, you know, they just teach you what it is that you want to teach, and that is acting. That's why, like, we are really trying to make it so, you know, pivotal and pinnacle for actors and self-employment people and creatives to understand that you are a business. But I couldn't tell you why they don't. But
the thing is, they don't need to. That's the truth. They're hugely oversubscribed. They can sell to what 5,000 for 20 places or something ridiculous for most drama schools,
isn't it? Yeah.
They just don't need to. They've got a formula that works, and it hasn't really ever that thing hasn't needed to be added to interrupt a career. Whereas what will happen, the industry will get more saturated that, you know, people will use their acting skills to develop something else, and that actually will help them be seen, valued by other people, that they'll probably go back into acting because of it.
And again, like, I mean, you can see how clearly this stuff works because how many Instagram, how many, like, I don't want to say the word, how many terrible actors or singers or whatever are out there making much more money than you guys, getting much more than you guys, who have no talent, but they have followers, they have, you know, and again, is it right? No, but from a business point of view, that business that is hiring them wants the most people to watch. So, you know, it is right and it isn't right. So, you know, if it doesn't matter if you are the world's best actor, and I always remember like people from drama school, oh, that person's they're the best actor, they're gonna make it. And they come out and do nothing. And then that person who isn't very good, but has a distinct look, they get all the roles because that's what is needed at that time. But, you know, if you can, you know, manage and understand how to attract more people, whether or not that's, you know, clients to things or agents or cast directors, and put yourself in those positions rather than waiting for the phone to ring, you can fly. And I've seen so many people that we have spoken to that have come to just one event that something has just clicked. And then you get a message like 3 or 4 months later from email going like, guys, what you said to me at that time, blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize that I wasn't doing anything. And now like I go and I speak to people and, you know, and like people hate networking, but, you know, sometimes you need to know why you're networking. People go to network, but they don't quite know why they're networking or what they've got to give. You always have to know. When I go to a network evening, I never go just because I'm going. I know I'm going to make sure that I have something that I can offer somebody or you know, not sell, but to you know, to kind of connect with somebody. And also,
and networking's so hard as well because you're there going to ask for something. You're going with very little social value to ask for can I be seen for this? But then it's just be likable, be friendly, and, you know, don't piss anyone off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. And guys, again, that you got that kind of, we get this question a lot as well, which comes up with like, oh, but I haven't really done anything lately, or, you know, I've not, how do I, you know, what can I do if I'm not really doing anything right now? And it is show your best side. I always think of like, I mean, I said this analogy was like a marriage. I always think of like life. I think of business like dating. And I always say like, don't lie, but just make the best out of what it is you do. You know, you might be, so I always say this, what was it? I had a friend, and he used to say to people when he would go on a date, and he would say to them, they would say, what do you do? And he would go, I don't want to get this wrong. He would basically say, so I run, so I'm a manager at one of the most successful restaurants in Leicester Square. And then they would continue, oh, it's amazing, fantastic. And he, you know, and if someone says to you that they run one of the most successful restaurants in Leicester Square, and they're the manager, you think, oh, it's amazing. And he worked in McDonald's in Leicester Square as one of the, like, just the managers in McDonald's. But again, it is one of the most successful restaurants in all of London. And it's like, you know, he didn't lie, but you just made it sound a bit better than it was. So you just have to kind of start thinking about what it is and how you can get yourself across and how you want to be perceived. Because at the end of the day, you are how you are perceived. It might sound a bit random, but you might think you're really, outgoing, or, you're really kind and friendly, but someone who's just looking at you and you're sat there kind of like this, because, you are a little bit shy or something, they might think you're stuck up, or you're bitchy or something like that, but actually you're just shy. But that's how you come across, that's how you're perceived. And again, someone that like talks about themselves all the time, stuff, they might think, oh, that person's really arrogant, but actually they don't see themselves of that. So kind of, a brand is perception. Apple, if I said the brand Apple to you guys, some of you will think, slick, sexy, classy. Some of you will think overpriced, not great tech, but it's a brand, and it's how you perceive it. So you can be your own brand. So when you are, like someone mentioned about Fiverr earlier and doing graphic design, how do your graphics, when you look at this graphic that I've got up now, we've got black and we've got gold. It was something, our logo is black and gold. It's kind of the brand that I wanted to show out. If it was all colorful and flimsy and, all over the place, not straight lines stuff, you might think differently about the brand. So, you are your own brand. You've got to make it what you want to be seen. And that's really it. And again, like when Tommy said earlier, sorry, Tom, the person that was doing the thing for free, if you're always doing things for cheap or free, that's kind of what you're always going to do. You can be, I mean, McDonald's is fantastic. They're very cheap and stuff like that. But again, then you've got, the really expensive ones. It's the same as with our kids' parties. Do we want to be, the really cheap one, or do we want to do the super high end? You have to choose what kind of actor, what actress, what life, what business you want to do, and just kind of go with it. But always go with the same thing.
McDonald's make most of their money from being a landlord as well, not the food.
Yeah.
Hi, can I just mention something?
Of course you can.
Okay, great. It was just in regards to what was it Makesha Armstrong mentioned about his acting career. Well, I actually represent my two children. They've done a show called The Mighty Wise Show, as well as they're musicians, they're rappers. And but what I do, they're also got an agent. So when they do their acting, I make certain I know the business side of things. So I know sometimes as actors or actresses, it's so difficult to actually do everything at once, because you're practicing lines, you're literally going for castings, you're meeting different directors, casting directors. But I think it's so important, especially during this time, make use of your best business savvy, make use of understanding the business, how it works. Because some of the agents, you may say, oh, my agent does all of that, but you need to be your own agent. Like you were saying, Ricky, you need to be your own boss. And Tommy's saying the same thing. So once you're your own boss, you can control your what it is you're wanting to achieve. You could actually achieve it much more quicker with much more finance, and know where your finance is going. And if you know you're very good, you can actually talk to your agent, say, listen, I want a higher percentage. I don't want you taking as much as 27%.
No shit.
Absolutely. That's right. So you just got to be strong in your game. And that's what I would say to Makesha. Get to know and make the agent want you. Because yes, we all think, oh, I want an agent. The agent should be so desperate that they want you on their books and they don't want to leave you. And some agents will actually say, you know what? We have a general rule for everyone else. Only one agent, but if you're that good, they say, okay, we'll make you go for maybe 2 or 3 agents as long as you stay with us. So there's so many different openings, but that's it. Thank you.
No, that's great. No, thank you. Sorry, someone was going to say something then. Was it Makesha?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. I appreciate what Jacqueline was saying, and I'm pretty successful with the film and television industry here in North Vancouver in Canada. And no disrespect to what she's saying, I am more concerned with the fact that over here, we have a lot of self-promotion that we do. I do a lot of self-promotion about my work outside of my agent, and that's great. But my question was, which I believe you gentlemen did answer, is the business side of things. Once again, I don't know how it works in London. I was born in West Ham, by the way, so don't get mad at me.
I'm an Arsenal fan. It's very defensive. I'm going to mute you now. Sorry.
What's that?
I said I'm an Arsenal fan, but it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
Hammers. But can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. With that said, my thing was just basically for me, Well, for instance, The Mandalorian, Star Wars right now, I'm doing a lot of my own productions here in Vancouver. We're focusing on these video walls. We're looking at trying to get rid of the green screen, make money doing that, and also monetizing what we do with the acting, as well as the voiceover, as well as the podcast, just finding ways to move away from the agent and not put all the work on the agent, and taking more, I'd say, empowerment when it comes to your career. So that's where my head was at. But at the same time, a lot of actors here don't seem to understand that it's a business. Of course, you know, you study hard, you do your lines and all that, that's great. But when that phone stops ringing, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's where my head was at. And once again, I appreciate what Jacqueline had put out there, but I'm not looking to get representation. I'm more or less trying to understand why a lot of actors do not, whether it's being in film school or drama school, whatever you want to call it, they don't focus on the business, because that phone will stop ringing. That's where I was going with that.
No, it's great.
And just your mental, you know, if you haven't got that other thing and you're waiting for the phone, literally your well-being just goes. I just remember just like, what do I do? What do I do with my days if I'm not getting the auditions? Matilda, do you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of questions, and it's like I don't know where to start. And yeah, I don't know, but for example, podcasts and stuff. So like, I've been thinking, and I want to do that. I had one back in the days when I was like 16 years old, but that ended, and I'm in my final year of drama school now, and it's like, you know, all of what you're saying, like getting out there and being your own business and getting an agent or whatever, get your work, and also in this situation of COVID and everything, that is like, it's hard how it is, and being unmotivated. But for example, starting a podcast, like whatever, like I've got the kind of impression of, okay, there are a lot of podcasts out there. Mm-hmm. For example, with actors as well, obviously.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. So yeah, with everything in the whole industry, obviously, it's like we are overcrowded. But like that is like, as soon as I think of that thought kind of like dies for me. Like, so how all of this promotion and like getting out there and blah blah blah, but all of that is also like overwhelming. So like I don't know how to kind of get over that overwhelming status.
I mean, 100%. I totally understand what you mean, and people just like, oh well, that person's already 100 times further ahead of me, and like, why should I start now and stuff like that. But the thing is, you have to realize what we said about goals being so, I mean, I like very time specific goals. Like, only do a podcast. Don't just do a podcast because we said, oh, you know, podcasts are good. Only do one if you have a reason to do one. So like I said, if I've not got the graph back up, but you know, if you want to achieve something up here and you think to get there, this is what you need to do, but to get there, you need to do this, to this, to this, and to get there, you need to have a podcast that is going to get you to that next level, then do it. You know, it's one extra thing that you can say you have a podcast, but don't just do a podcast. Go on, Tom.
And a really good example, we wrote a book, right? Why the hell write a book? We want to be teaching at drama schools, and I don't want to ring them all up and demonstrate value. I just want to post a book to the head of year, so therefore I've got value. Because who's going to sit down and write a book unless they've got value? So it's just a shortcut. This took ages to write, but it has to be worthwhile doing it. And the same with a podcast. So what I want to do now, I'm going to give you a few questions, and this is from our book, and it's the Invent chapter. I'm going to give you a few questions, and I want you to start thinking about setting up a business, setting up a side hustle, setting up something that isn't necessarily just acting, because this is going to complement your acting and you're going to need it. And I know this isn't bouncing back. I thought you was going to tell me I just go and audition loads and it'd be great. Unfortunately, you have to demonstrate value for people to want you. So anyway, and you said about podcasts, there's no point doing a podcast unless you've got a real niche, a real drive, a real belief in it. Because if someone else is doing it, what's the point? But you can be the first person that does a podcast on acting dressmaker. I don't know, but it's got to be your thing. So in our Invent chapter, it starts with what, and it's all about what, and we developed it, and it's what drives you, and it's it's in the book. What drives you? How does your idea help others? Assess to make sure there's a market for your idea, and test. So the question is, what does drive you? And I'm sure there's acting, and I'm sure there's like, you know, theatre, film. That's obviously all part of you. But what drives you except from that? What makes you different? What are you passionate about that no one else as an actor is passionate about? Just have a little moment just to write that down, have a think, and write these questions down. What drives you? What are you passionate about? My dog just wants to get out. Sorry. Because if something drives you and you're passionate about something, you're going to get out of bed and you're going to do it. Me and Ricky can work 7 days a week, no problem, because we're working on stuff that we love. We're working on stuff that we've developed ourselves, and that it's not really work, to be honest. We'll go and have a cup of tea and have a nice lunch during it, but it's not really work because it's stuff that, you know, we want to do it. We've built it, we enjoy it. And the thing is, we're very lucky. So we've got like 7 PAYE, 40 subcontractors. We only do the jobs we want to do now. We don't pick up the phone to do any bookings. We don't do any sales. I just create music albums and kids books, and I just do the stuff that I like. I don't do anything that I don't like anymore. But it did take 10 years to get there. So don't think, oh, that's going to happen overnight. What drives you? What are you passionate about?
And just with that, I think that thing is very important, is that it doesn't need to be something that you are good at. It just needs to be something that drives you. Because, I mean, I don't want to push our book, but in our book, we talk about you don't actually need to be good at something to like earn money from it.
But Ricky's a dance teacher and he's not even good at dancing.
No, so I run a dance school in London called UKDC, and I earn more money probably from that than a lot of the dance teachers that I know. And I've never taught a dance class in my life. I just partnered with one of the top dance teachers there is in the country, and he does all the teaching. We let people in free that do all the setting up, and they're kind of the assistants that take all the money and the email and do the admin, and I just kind of set up the running mill of the events and the day-to-day stuff.
And this is a great example, right? You don't need to be good at it. If you have a partnership, so Ricky's dance partner Pedrino hasn't got a clue about business, but he's a great dancer. So when you team up with someone, what is the circle that you're completing? Because obviously, if you're the full circle, you don't need to team up with someone, but you want to complement each other. And Ricky and his dance partner, you know, they're very good at, like, Ricky's so business, and the other guy is the one that's the influencer, the dancer, and it works very well, doesn't it, Rick? So then the next one is, how does your idea help others? So when you start thinking about what drives you, what passionate you about, so I love tap dancing, and I want to start teaching tap dancing, I don't know. How does it help others? Okay, so when we start looking down, because you don't have to teach the best dancers anymore. My tap dancing can help people confidence. I can do it in old people's homes. I can do it in school for kids. I could do tap dancing dating. So all of a sudden, even though your passion and your skill, you thought, okay, I've got to teach dance lessons. Actually, no. I'm doing it as a dating thing. Tap dancing dating. I don't know. I'm sure when you work on your own idea, you're not making it up as you go along. But it's all about, you know, how does your idea help others? It's more about, why would someone invest in you rather than what you're giving them? And that's such a good point. You don't sell someone, you know, what I do. You sell someone the dream, the idea. You come to my tap dancing lessons and you're going to have the most beautiful girlfriend, or you're going to have the most loyal husband. I don't know, whatever you're after, you will get it if you come to my lessons. There's a lot more in this, but I'm just going to quickly flow through it. And then it's assess your idea. Make sure there's a market for your idea. If you go to Google, you're going to look on Google and you can say children's parties, and look, there's thousands of that do children's parties. Okay, how am I different? Okay, it's like, okay, I want to do superhero parties. I want to do superhero parties for children with learning disabilities. What is your niche? And don't worry about, there's only a few people in that niche. It's specialized, so therefore people will pay more because they want you. You're the one that knows how to handle disability kids. You know, I don't want Joe Bloggs, you know, to come in and, you know, handle autistic children. It's a very, very special skill. So access that there's a market for your idea, and then there's tested it.
I think we're probably getting a bit too far ahead of things here, a bit too teachery for
me.
No,
but I just want you to have those questions in your head, because at the end of this thing, I don't want you to just think, oh, what do I do? I want you to think, okay, let's build an arc of something. Let's build a little bridge that we can cross it. Because otherwise it is, I had a talk and now I feel motivated, But what do I do? And that's what I feel like sometimes after talks. I actually want you to have here's your little goal. Write out a few questions of actually moving forward onto something.
So guys, we're going to, we didn't want to kind of talk for too long.
But we did.
Yeah, we did. So what we're going to do, we'll open the floor a little bit, answer any couple last questions, 15 minutes or so. We would like to do this kind of monthly, this type of thing. And again, I think Rachel from Hackney Empire is going to be joining us, most of them, but we want to get a few kind of industry leaders in. Or we could do a few more things like this and go into a bit more detail, but just on one small subject rather than kind of overloading your brains.
We would go into developing either a show, an event or something.
But
we can get casting directors, agents, we can get people like that on and they can talk about how the industry is right now and what's coming up. So we just wanted to give you a bit more like right now is the time to work on something. You know, things aren't going to happen for a while. If you work on something, you can get your Facebook looking nice, you can get your products looking nice. You know, you got there's a little run up to get something out there before the physical world opens again. So it's time to start walking again because you're going to be miles ahead if you do that now.
Yeah. Hey guys, just a quick question. Is this Zoom replay link going to be available after, guys?
Yeah, we'll do something with it. I've recorded it, so that's good. But I was going to send it over to Hackney and they'll put it on. So we've got the Ambitious Arts Facebook and also the Hackney Empire. I'll probably stick it either on the Hackney Facebook page or in the event. So I will have a link somewhere. It won't be sent to you though, but it will be on the social medias.
Great. It'll be helpful for us to each individually go over the answers in our own time, you know? Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, and feel free to drop an email if anything comes up.
So guys, so I was going to say, you are welcome to, I mean, you guys can head off now. What we'll do is we'll open the floor 15 minutes, answer any questions. But in the meantime, guys, if you do want to check out, we'll just plug it. Our book, Pain in the Arts. I'm actually going to put the link.
Rick, I'm just going to pass you a copy.
Oh, cheers, mate. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are on the screen. I'll put the link anyway in the chat if anybody wants to take a look at it. But guys, does anybody have any questions? We do hope you enjoyed it. As you can see, Tommy and I, we do talk a bit, but we get so passionate. I get so passionate and also like sometimes disheartened that sometimes when I speak to clients and they're doing things that they probably shouldn't be doing just because they think they should be doing it. You know, it really gets to me. So I'm just so passionate. I really want everybody to, you know, be so successful. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Please stick around. We've got 15 minutes. Who wants to have a question that's not spoken? And Andrea or Andrea? No. Let's get you up. Let's add you. What would you like? You can unmute yourself. I'll ask you to unmute.
Hi, just wanted you to repeat those questions from the book because it's really good self-evaluation to go through them.
Yeah, no worries. So it's our little what method. It's what drives you. What are you passionate about? And that's really about, you know, it has to be something that you can get up in the morning and do every day. And you're going to have tough days where you can't be bothered. But if it comes from your core, you're going to want to do it. And it has to be the stuff that you're passionate about. And like Ricky says, you don't even have to be good at it. And then it's how does your idea help others?
Mm-hmm.
And then assess to make sure there's a market for your idea.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is test your idea and repeat until ready to be developed. So just test your idea. So with testing your idea as well, don't spend loads of money testing an idea. Like a great example is like, okay, I want to do an event. Literally just set up a free Eventbrite and see if people pay for it. And then write the show, because there's no point writing the show if nobody wants it.
Right, that's interesting.
Just stick an event far into the future. If you can sell that event, then you know it's worth selling. If nobody buys it,
everything.
I don't think I've ever done that.
We do this for every single thing. If we're gonna, we do a touring show every year with our kids company. We literally just put a one tiny little landing page, which has got a happy picture of some kids on it, or us doing something like this. And we don't even write anything about it, but we know it's probably going to have some magic and it's going to be fun. So we just say full of magic, laughter, fun. And what you're doing is you're not selling the product. You're not saying what's in it. You're saying the overall thing that they are going to get out of it. Fun for all the family, de-stress the parents, make memories. It's really fun and laughter. It's hilarious. And come and join us February the 3rd. Come and join us and then sign up now or buy your ticket here. And literally, if nobody buys it, we don't go ahead with it. If people start buying it and there's interest and we post out a couple of times, then we actually write the script and the show and then buy some equipment. We never, ever, when we launch anything, we never buy any equipment or anything until we've actually sold the product. A load of people do it the other way around. They try and they buy everything, create it, make it, do it, and then they put it out there and they're like, why does nobody want this? Yeah. It's like, never do it. Like this event, Tommy and I, we had no idea if anyone was going to come. We didn't plan any, we didn't really plan anything we were going to do until earlier today, when we saw that there was 80, 90, 100 people signed up. We were like, oh, okay, cool, it's going ahead. If no one would have come, we wouldn't have spent any time on it doing it. So it's just every single time, sell before you create. And again, this is all in the book. But yeah, let's grow. Next question.
Who's that? Makasha, do you want to, next question? Ask to unmute.
Yes, I basically wanted to know what those plaques are on Ricky's wall, and he ran away.
What Ricky loves is a live statement. And
I do.
But the thing is, sometimes you have to live it rather than write it on the wall. Sue.
Hello. Yes. So there was somebody mentioned earlier, because I've done a lot of goal setting and stuff as part of my old job when I used to do learning and development. I used to be in HR. And somebody said something earlier about overwhelming and there's so much. And I'm like that. I think as creatives, it's a bit of this, bit of that, and I'm a bit like a butterfly. So I have a planner and I have a to-do list and I've got days and what I'm going to do. Now, I don't always stick to it, but at least I write it down. But one of the things that really helped for me, if I ever feel really overwhelmed about something, is just pick out one small thing. Don't look at the mountain at the top. Look at what's the first step I've got to take and take that. And then there's a terrific sense of achievement. Now, you might want to, as you really gave us that great pathway, work out what your steps will be, but you only have to do one little thing. And the other thing that I find helps me as well is that it is what I'm doing right now getting me to my end goal.
That's it.
And if it isn't, like playing a game, looking on Facebook, why am I doing it? What am I doing? Where am I aiming for? And is what I'm doing right now going to help me get there? If not, why am I doing it? Anyway, just to think, couple of things made me think of.
And Ricky does that with his to-do list. You put them in a priority order, don't you?
Yeah, always. So like the worst thing is I mean, Tommy doesn't, I mean, you do to-do lists as well, but I used to have...
When you're at the top of the pyramid.
Like sometimes, like I used to have a to-do list, and I know this as well. If you have a to-do list with 10, 12, 15 things on, and even if you achieve 9 of them, at the end of the day, you look at it and be like, oh, I haven't done everything. And it puts you in that negative mindset. Like there's that book, The 4-Hour Work Week. I'm sure some of you probably know. And that guy, he says, spend like straight away in the morning, do something big for a few hours of your time. Don't just tick off 10, 15, 20 little tiny things. Do one thing that really benefits you, so that you can feel like you've achieved something. And again, people just, procrastinate, they pile too much. There's a great, it's not even a saying, it's a human nature is that everyone with their homework at school and their dissertations, stuff like that, or even learning lines, like, if you are told, oh, you've got 6 months to do your homework or learn your lines, for the rehearsal on the January the 1st, when are you really struggling? It's like it's the 31st of December, and you're there like, oh, finishing your homework, learning stuff, because human nature is you don't do it until you need to do it. So that stuff as well is, unless you need to do something, so like set yourself a real time specific goal. By this time, I need to have done this. And have, like, that's why accountability, stuff like this is great as a group for everybody to kind of know and stuff. But Tommy and I, we have accountability and we have meetings. So we will, with our team, we'll set goals for the next week, and then we'll come back and, if you haven't done your goal, why the hell haven't you done it? I've done what I said I would do.
Yeah, and it's and like you said, it's very small. We'll give one person one big goal each, and that's all it is per week. Jonathan, let's fly through these. Not got long. Hey, mate.
Oh, good evening. How are you all? I hope you're all wonderful. Just a few little things. One of the best things you can do is meditate. Now, if you meditate in the evening and meditate in the morning, you can lose that crap that you carry around all day. I mean, I've been doing a load of this during this process. I'm quite lucky. I've got a lot going on, but then I've been around a long time, so you know it all follows the same river, doesn't it? And
you don't look it, babes.
Well, you're very kind. You're very kind. Oh God, my back's creaking. I'll sit. I'll yeah.
The meditation's working.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yeah. Best to lie down. You know, backache. But yeah, no, it's really good. And I've been doing a lot of Abraham Hicks. If you look at Abraham Hicks's work on YouTube, it's really, really brilliant. It's really amazing stuff. And one of the things that we did was we wrote a sitcom. Now, it's a bit of an advice for people who are going to write anything like a sitcom. Write it for radio, don't write it for television, because where does a sitcom go from? It doesn't go straight onto television. It hits radio first. But every sitcom you've ever, and yet everybody's writing television sitcoms. Well, how many of them are there? And how many people are writing for radio? Not many. So if you've got a gift, write for radio. And what's happening as well, what I advise you to do is join the BCG. That's not an injection. That's a comedy. That's a comedy thing.
Pfizer invented.
You know, I remember having one of those in my arm. You know, when not comedy, but an injection, which was comedy in a way. But but many years ago, many years ago, and yeah, the BCG is the British Comedy Guide, and it's signed 75 quid. But there are competitions on there and all sorts of wonderful things if you have a flair for comedy. In other words, if you're slightly screwed up, which is what I am, you know, if you have a flair for comedy, these things are great. You know, we wrote a play many years ago about Peter Cook and Dudley Moore. We've now turned it into a sitcom. In fact, it's going to be produced this year. But that's through a friend of mine who's on a comedy course. With another amazing thing to do is another thing is the National Film and Television School runs. It is quite expensive, I would say that. They want a writing, producing comedy course, and my friend is on that, and he's producing our script. So, you know, and we've also got it out to other people, but it's very simple. It's only half an hour, then you write your treatment of 5 episodes. But Netflix and all these other big places, they're looking for this kind of content at the moment. There's never been a bigger time. There's no Edinburgh last year. So all these people who are looking, going up, they don't know where to go. There's no one to see. So people are saying, "Who are you? We want to meet you. We want to know who you are," because we got loads of space on television and Netflix, which ain't going nowhere, and we're not filling it. So people, there's a massive content creation time at the moment where you've got to create this stuff, and you can get in there quickly. And BCG is a very good way to do it. Also, Comedy Crowd. Comedy Crowd's completely free. Right, they have competitions on there all the time. They're really lovely, really reliable. These are mainly for people in comedy. I'm an actor as well, but my great love came in because I saw a sketch with Peter Cook and John Cleese on a park bench, and that was the reason why I went into the business. But yeah. So, you know, and Cook's my hero because he's a rebel, you know, and I think we all have to have a bit of rebelliousness in us to break free of the shackles that bind us. Anyway, I'll shut up now. There you go.
No, just to add to that, Jonathan, you don't have to write the whole sitcom. That's so true. I'm just going to share something in the chat, right? This is Stranger Things pitch deck.
You can write 10 pages. You can write 10 pages for certain people, but sometimes they want the whole thing. It depends.
Yeah. So we're at the minute, we're actually trying to pitch a cartoon, and we started by writing episodes, and they don't even want an episode. They want a pitch deck. They just want to have a feel. They want the idea. And that's more important than writing the bloody film, okay?
Yeah.
Or the program. So in the comments, I've just put the pitch deck of Stranger Things. That they'd rather have that than an episode.
Hey, Tommy, I don't think you have. Someone probably direct messaged you, and then you probably replied to them rather than everyone.
Oh, okay. I did do that. I did. How do I not do?
That's really good, guys. So thank you. You're doing a great job.
Everyone. And I will say as well, just on top of Jonathan, like keep on top of your mental health and well-being. I meditate a lot as well, and I try and do something every morning. I know Molly's in here as well. I got Molly into the Miracle Morning, which I'm a big fan of. Hey, Molly. If you've not heard of it, it's a great read, very inspiring. Miracle Morning, really gets you going and motivated. And I think the only one thing with things like the Miracle Morning, like The Secret, like The Power, with all those things, is people feel motivated, but only for a certain time. Like, I could take on the world, I can do everything. And like, then their motivation goes up and then it slowly falls off the cliff and you kind of go back and regress to where you are. Like, you need to get like an accountability group. I mean, although I'm a coach, I also have a coach. You know, it doesn't matter, like, you know, the top footballer in the world, he might be the best footballer in the world, he still has a coach. Everybody at the top level still has a coach. It doesn't matter, you know, how good you are or not good or whatever it is. You might be, you know, Elon Musk, you know, the top billionaire in the world, still has people that help him do things. Getting a group of people that are motivated is going to help you. Finding a support group like this is going to help you. I have Tommy, I have my other business partners. They also help me. If Tommy gets lazy and I get lazy,
it doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
Like, that's it. So we make sure then I spend money on, and my friends are like, why would you spend money on having a coach? You know, if you know it all yourself. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter if I know it myself. Like, how many of you could know things at the gym by like just going on YouTube, and you could do it all yourself, but you still have a personal trainer or whatever, or, you know, your voice, you know, you still get it because they're there pushing you at that time. So do find, even if you don't have to pay someone, find someone that is similar to you or that has different interests, or, you know, swap your skills. But keeping motivated is much more important, or more important than you can know. And again, like Jonathan said, like the well-being, and so I use Headspace in the morning, even just 10 minutes, but I try and get in at least half an hour of exercise or walking or taking time for myself out as well. Just refresh you. But yeah, guys.
I'll just add one thing. Louise Haye has if you go on YouTube, she was one of the pioneers, if you like, of mental health and all this, the law of attraction, or whatever it was. She was one of the pioneers of this, and she's dead now, sadly, but she has got 2 wonderful morning and evening meditations on YouTube, which are absolutely brilliant. She sounds like the best grandmother you've ever had. Wonderful, sort of very sort of smoky American voice, but she's an absolute sweetheart. She's got so much goodness in her. And if you just listen to that every morning and every evening, you'll be tickety-boo, trust me. Just you've got to do it every night though. Don't miss the nights. Just do it in process, and then you balance the days out. First, of course, it's shaky, of course, but you do it 21 days, you start to roll with it, you know. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, Jonathan. So guys, have we got any let's grab one more if anybody has got a killing question that they need. Christian, let's go to you, and then we can finish up. What's up, Christian?
I just thought to myself that with this whole business venture, to try and get people to understand this industry from another perspective, is the way I probably see it, if it helps, is everyone has had the ability to go into a shop and you look at a set of shoes or a top or something, and you look at them and think to yourself, right, looks good, but obviously not the one we want. So it's like the product. So we are the product. We're trying to sell ourselves. So if something stands out really, like in our eyes and your faces, that's like the it quality, which is what I like to refer it to. So we're like the quality of that product. So if we stand out the same way that we would see something that we want to get, like a top or a set of shoes and so on, if we shine out in that same capacity, then that's the same way we got to look at this industry, if it helps. I don't know if that's going to make any sense. I've had too many sweets, I don't know. But the idea is, it's like, you can actually understand it from another perspective if people can see us in that light, if it helps. I don't know.
I think as well, like a casting director or a casting agent, whatever, they don't know what they want, but they want something. So you're actually doing them a favor if you turn up and be that thing. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's
the best way.
But I don't know. It's really tough. It's really tough because you're trying to preempt what someone else wants, rather than. That's why we're trying to say, put the ball in your own court and do something that you do have control over.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, with I know it's all the whole thing is a competition. We're all in it together, but at the same time, it doesn't stop us from helping each other. You know, we're in the ocean, and there's sharks out there. It's going to stop us. It's going to be a difficult sort of swim to get to the other side, and it's only a matter of time before we reach the other side and understand that we've made it through. Look back and then help others.
Yeah, that's the way there is no competition. The only person you're really competing is yourself when you start to.
In past tense, this is what I'm saying. Yeah, like, I only compare myself to myself.
It's getting too deep though. We're talking in riddles. Any any more before we call it?
Cheers.
Mikasha, did you want? Oh, sorry, there's someone.
Yes, I got one.
Yeah.
How are you?
I think
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Mikasha here. Can I go?
Yeah,
Okay.
go.
Okay, so I've been doing a lot of auditioning, heavily auditioning since January 1st, really great content. And hours, we'll put in hours to audition for these TV shows. So why not, just me to everyone that's listening, why not take all that time as actors auditioning for other people's stuff and create your own stuff? Take all that energy, that time, and just do that. That's all I wanted to say. Because for me, like you're saying, it's someone else's vision, it's someone else's idea, and they're going to get all the accolades from that. You as an actor, sure, you get your little bit of money, you get a little bit of flash or whatever, and then it's gone. But take all that time and energy and sweat and all the studying, and create your own content, be your own person, and make money, monetize it somehow. That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
always. Thanks.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it.
Hi, can I just add to that quickly? It's a really quick one. Miss Jacqueline there. Yeah, it's just to say, funny enough, what Mikasha just said, I actually, during the first lockdown, did this with my children. I said, let's make our own show and let's create our own content. And we did actually 10 series, 10, was it called? Yeah, a 10-part series of a children's show. It was done by children, for children. However, we put on YouTube. However, yeah, we had great views, but I wanted to actually contact the BBC or Channel 4 or CBBC, but I found that really difficult because trying to find children producers to actually push it forward was very difficult. What advice would you give?
So what shows is there shows out there that are similar? And what I'll do is watch that show, see who produces that, send them an email. But then why not why just to go to BBC? There's Netflix, there's Amazon, there's Prime, there's loads.
Yeah, I don't know. There was no other show like this, and it was done by 2 young children. I've not seen anything like this, why we wanted to do it, and we've had really great reviews.
Are you looking at them through mother's eyes though?
No, not necessarily, because what we've got back from people were sending lots of messages and Instagram saying it's amazing. When's the next set of shows coming on? When can we get it back on? We had over like 3,000-4,000 views.
Just Google children production houses and there's loads.
I did, and I contacted them, but I found they were really like, oh, there's other people doing different things, and just different things were going on. They didn't actually get to see the show, but they found it very hard. I contacted all of the children production companies, and
I think that then there you can build a bigger following. You get do that product pathway, get as much stuff around it as you can. Can they be doing extra things, not just the show, to get interest? You just got to kind of build it in a big circle, big ecosystem all around it. That's the only thing really, because there is so much stuff all the time. You just got to, again, you need talent and luck as well.
It took the Queen's Gambit 30 years to get a show on Netflix, because they said no one would ever be interested in a show about chess.
Checkmate, mama.
And obviously that was the biggest show last year on Netflix. So it took them 30 years to get that show. So unfortunately, that's the industry you're in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they won't be kids anymore though in 30 years.
Yeah.
So.
I know, that's the whole idea, Ricky. That's the whole idea. It's similar to like an Ant and Dec, but a brother and sister team. They actually met Ant and Dec as well. But yeah, anyway.
Well, there you go. But that's it. If you had details for Ant and Dec and they could, retweet, they could post, they could do something like Tommy and I, we run the hell off the back of any celebrity that we have done a favor for or has done us a favor for. Like I did, I won't even go into stuff, but literally the amount of stuff that we've done for celebrities so we can have they owe us one. And then I get them to like tweet a photo of me and, one of the guys from One Direction when I'm launching, a dance party for a kids thing. We speak to, how many people have we podcast, like the owner of Hello Magazine.
There's
so
many influencers that we do a lot for, and they do
big mum influencers that push us. I did Trolls Party for Alicia Dixon's friend's child. I did it for free for them. So then that she could post out on Instagram about Captain Fantastic. So like that, you know, it gets so much bigger stuff. But I'll do a favor for you, and if you know them, then you can start to, you know. But again, there's so many backdoor. It's like with the acting and the agents and the casting directors. You know, you might not be able to get that casting director, but do they have an assistant that then you could start to nag at, or, you know, start to entice gently, or do they have somebody that knows that and it is that product pathway to get to this person? How do you knock down, you know, it's like in a game when you're playing a game, isn't it, and you need to get to the big boss, you got to take down everybody else first.
That's what they say, life is like chess, isn't it?
That's it. Checkmate. So guys, I think we're gonna leave it there. We've gone on much over than we are, but I'm still glad that, you know, there's still some of you with us. I hope it was valuable. We didn't really know exactly what we were going to do today. We just wanted a bit of a inspirational something about, you know, coaching and business, and, you know, just keeping you motivated and alive. So just, you know, everyone's in the same boat. We're all still going. Everyone's trying to push through. So just keep doing what you're doing, but do more. So we're gonna try and do these kind of monthly. Feel free, please. You can message my I think my name's in here. I'm Ricky Fox. You got Tommy Balaam. We're from Ambitious Arts. You know what? I've just lobbed the. Oh, I've just. Sorry, I've done a direct message there. This is our website. I generally use all my own personal Facebook stuff, but you can comment on Hackney Empire, comment in the discussion, what you liked, what you didn't like, who you'd like to have next. Is there anything else that you'd like to speak about? Write any questions on the Ambitious Arts Facebook or the Hackney Empire Facebook or in the event, or message us directly, whatever it is. We're going to probably put another one on next month. If you guys are interested, that'd be great. Let us know your ideas, your thoughts. So yeah. Cheers. Ambitious Arts. Yeah. Arts, my bad. Ambitious Arts. Pain in the arts. So guys, gang, thank you so much for joining us. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's a horrible round of applause when everybody's muted and it's applauding. You can't hear anything. I'm just, cheers, guys. So guys, have a fantastic day. Tommy, anything else to add?
Smashed it, Rick. You were
Thank
great.
you, Ricky. Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a great week. Cheers, Sue.
Take care. All the best. Bye.
Bye.
Look forward to the replay.